comebacks nobody asked for. I want to do this video before we do some RDC. Let's get right to it.
What else were we wrong about?
Gorilla, that's Kong, the new Empire.
PG-13. With Cascade Platinum Plus, I load this and get this. Dare to dish differently.
10 WWE comebacks nobody wanted. Number 10, Nia Jax. When former women's champion Nia Jax made a return to WWE programming in 2023, fans were furious with the call to bring her back. Jax had a rotten reputation with the fanbase, as her online presence as well as a reputation for being unsafe in the ring had placed a huge disconnect between fans and Jax. Nevertheless, despite the fans being firmly against the rehiring of Jax, she has exceeded all expectations. Jax has calmed the more controversial side of herself down, and thankfully her in-ring work has been well received. She's had some fantastic matches since her return, and Triple H has been able to book Jax in an engaging and exciting manner that has slowly made fans change their tune when it comes to the irresistible force. Number 9, Alberto Del Rio. In 2015, WWE decided to bring back Alberto Del Rio. Del Rio had left in controversial fashion the prior year, and there wasn't exactly an outcry from fans to see the former Royal Rumble winner back on their screens. WWE had major plans for Del Rio, and this was clear upon his return at the Hell in a Cell event. Del Rio defeated John Cena clean to win the US title, which was a shocking end to Cena's title reign, and it certainly wasn't one fans were pushing for. Whilst Del Rio received somewhat of a pop upon his initial return, this quickly died down and fans began to question why on earth Del Rio was back in WWE. Del Rio's second run in the company would be a disaster both inside and outside the ring, and Del Rio eventually left the company the following year, making the return a complete waste of everyone's time. Number 8, The Spirit Squad. SmackDown Live was cooking in 2016. The product, despite having a smaller roster compared to Raw, managed to use their talent effectively, and the feud between Dolph Ziggler and The Miz over the Intercontinental title restored an element of prestige and honor to a classic championship. One of the key plot points of the feud between the two was the reintroduction of the Spirit Squad. This wasn't a comeback that was in demand, yet Kenny and Mikey had a brief yet entertaining stint that added a great element of continuity and storytelling to a critically acclaimed feud. The duo didn't overstay their welcome either, which was smart, as it kept their return special, and as for Kenny, his performance during his return was so impressive that he began to work as a producer for WWE, a role he still has to this very day. Number 7, Jinder Mahal. Speaking of the 2016 brand split, WWE needed extra talents, and one of the names they decided to bring back was Jinder Mahal. Mahal was in essence an enhancement talent in his prior run, and he had failed to leave a lasting impression on the fanbase. Mahal's second run ended up being considerably better than his first, as during his second run, Mahal won the WWE and US title, and as for today, he's still featured in top programs whenever WWE need a reliable guy for the role. Although fans were indifferent to Mahal returning at first, he has impressed in recent years and has managed to have his own niche following on social media. Number 6, Viscera. Nelson Frazier had several distinct stints in WWE. He portrayed characters known as Mabel, Viscera, and Big Daddy V. Sadly, none of these characters managed to get over the level WWE wanted to, and this was a problem that WWE tried to rectify numerous times with pushes up and down the card. Yet Frazier didn't have the presence or in-ring ability to keep a main event level position. In 2004, WWE made the decision to bring Viscera back for another run in the company. Viscera's return started off strong as he returned alongside Gangrel to take on The Undertaker. However, WWE quickly went back to the drawing board and came up with a brand new gimmick for the former Ministry of Darkness member. Viscera would become now known as the world's largest love machine, and whilst this involves some memorable segments, the act quickly got stale, and to nobody's surprise in the summer 2007, WWE once again repackaged Viscera. Viscera would now become Big Daddy V, a generic bodyguard type character, and whilst this new character would instantly be pushed up the card on the ECW brand, it failed to catch fire, and by the summer 2008, he was released from his WWE contract. Number 5, James Ellsworth. James Ellsworth somehow managed to become one of the most over acts on SmackDown Live in 2016. His work alongside Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles was refreshing, and WWE did the right thing by ending Ellsworth's involvement before it became annoying and detrimental to the overall product. Eventually, Ellsworth would find himself in an on-air partnership with Carmella, and yet again, this was well received, and it once again came to its natural conclusion. Ellsworth had completed an enjoyable run in WWE, and now he was in a position to work the independent circuit and allow his career to flourish outside of the WWE bubble. In a weird move, just a few months after Carmella had physically ended the partnership with Ellsworth on TV, he returned at the Money in the Bank event in 2018. This return received audible groans from the fans as the presentation of Ellsworth was horrendously bad. Ellsworth would bizarrely resurface dressed as Asuka during the women's title match between Asuka and Ellsworth's former friend Carmella. His second run in the company was a total dud, as unfortunately the magic present during his first stint was completely gone. Number 4. Eva Marie. A little to no improvement was offered from Eva Marie during her first run in WWE, and this therefore led to questions when WWE made the call to bring her back during the COVID-19 era. The fans believed that Marie was from a bygone era, and Marie failed to meet the expectations that fans had of modern female talents such as Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. Nevertheless, WWE followed through on their plans to feature Marie in a prominent role.
Am I tripping, or did they bring her back like 3 times, or was it just 2?
Bad things will start to happen. Evil things.
And naturally, the run completely flopped, and Marie was released from her contract in 2021. Number 3. Hulk Hogan. When Hulk Hogan's racist rant surfaced online, WWE, to their credit, were quick to take action and remove Hulk Hogan from any planned projects. Any subsequent removal from the WWE Hall of Fame was the least they could do. 3 years after this rant had surfaced, WWE implemented plans to bring Hogan back into the WWE family. This wasn't something that the fans wanted, and this extended to several names backstage who wanted no part of a man who had exposed himself as a complete racist. Negative feelings towards Hogan aside, WWE proceeded with bringing Hogan back, and he would be used sporadically in legend spots on TV, and he would even get to host WrestleMania 37. Whenever Hogan appears on TV, there is a portion of fans who still boo him, and this is completely understandable as the fans, as well as the talent backstage, just don't simply move on from such an awful act. Number 2. Goldberg. Upon returning to WWE in 2016, they hit a home run with their presentation of Goldberg. He returned to squash Brock Lesnar at that year's Survivor Series event, and this was the perfect booking and the perfect send-off for the WCW legend. Unfortunately, they couldn't resist bringing Goldberg back time and time again, and this over time completely turned the fans against everything Goldberg did. He would be booked to defeat popular names such as Kevin Owens and Bray Wyatt, and in doing so, Goldberg would win the Universal title on 2 separate occasions. Nobody was wanting to see Goldberg at this stage of his career as world champion, and they especially didn't want to see him virtually squash modern-day stars. It certainly could be argued that Goldberg's last few returns in WWE have impacted his legacy, as even when Goldberg was wrestling more established stars such as The Undertaker and even Bobby Lashley, his performances weren't exactly stellar. This is especially the case when it came to his match with the aforementioned Deadman, as the match was so unbelievably bad that it was lucky that both men were able to walk again upon their match coming to an end. And number 1, Shawn Michaels. WrestleMania 26 saw the legendary Shawn Michaels have his final ever WWE match. HBK wrestled The Undertaker in the main event of the show in an all-time classic, and this was truly supposed to be HBK's swan song, as he's confirmed that he had no plans whatsoever to wrestle ever again. However, in 2018, he made the controversial call to come out of retirement. HBK was going to team with Triple H to take on Kane and The Undertaker at Crown Jewel, and this led to instant criticism. Fans felt like HBK had nothing left to prove, and the only reason that he was doing this was to attain a cheap payday, as it was rumored that HBK was going to be paid up to $3 million to have one single match. The match itself was abysmal, as all 4 men were way past their prime, and HBK was a shell of his former self, and he was fully aware that his performance didn't hit the mark. In subsequent interviews, HBK was open and honest regarding the fact that perhaps he should have stayed retired. Whilst it was still frustrating that HBK decided to come out of retirement, it was appreciated that the all-time great was able to admit that he made the wrong call. But there you have it, folks. WWE comebacks that nobody wanted. Be sure to leave your comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.
Thank y'all for watching. We about to watch this RDC.